Welcome to PCWizKid's Weekly Answer Back episode number 4. Today I'm going to go through some questions from you guys, starting with, when building a new computer, how do I know what power supply I need? Well, it depends on the type of components that you're putting in your new computer, right? Older PCs that have older components don't need a very powerful power supply. What you need is a power supply calculator. If you're going to build a brand new rig, latest components, I found this power supply calculator on the Asus website. Here's the URL. I'll put it on the side so you can go to it. And it allows you to choose the components, and it will tell you how many watts you need. So that's great. Gives you an idea. So you choose the type of CPU. Let's just say we'll choose the latest Phenom 2X4, the 965, right? 140 watts right there for that one. An HD 4890, that's another 150 watts roughly for that one. So there you go. And before you know it, we're already up to 500 watts. We need a 500 watt power supply in order to get all that to work. Then, of course, DDR3, we got 2 modules that I need for that. 1 hard drive, 1 DVD drive. I'll have a USB keyboard and mouse, and a wireless card maybe, and a couple of fans for the case. So 600 watts total. There you go. That gives you a good idea. Check this place out. It'll help you. Okay, get a good idea on what you need. Next thing, I got a question. Well, I get many questions on upgrading from XP to Vista or 7. Well, what you really need to think about is your operating system stable right now? Are you happy with it? Are you getting a lot of problems with it? If XP is reliable and stable, stick with XP for now until support for it runs out. There are a lot of new features, a lot of good stuff in Windows 7. A lot of improvements over Windows Vista, and that's the key word, improvements. So you want to skip over Vista and go straight to 7 if you're planning on doing the upgrade. Okay, so if you're sick and tired of XP, or XP's not working out for you for some reason, okay, fine. If you want to go to another version of Windows 7 it is, okay? Not just because of the features, but also because it has improved over Vista, okay? So it is basically what Vista should have been, okay, in the first place. Now, when it comes to requirements, Vista requires more memory, okay? So that's one thing that I noticed about Vista. Even though Microsoft might say that you only need 1 gig of RAM to install, I find that you need 2 gigs of RAM for it to run smoothly, as opposed to, for example, Windows 7. You could actually get that running fine with 1 gig. Okay, but still, there are certain requirements that you have to keep in mind when installing Windows 7, such as whether you're installing 32-bit or 64-bit, you will need a little bit more space on your PC. Okay, just think about that before you make the leap. Now, another question is, how can I overclock my CPU? Okay, that's a common question. Now, I can't really show you in this answer back how to overclock your CPU. That's a separate video that I'm going to do for you guys, explaining you step by step on how to do that. Okay, however, there are some important points that I want to make here. First one being, be very, 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 very careful on what you're trying to do here with your CPU, because not all CPUs are overclockable. Okay, if you have a laptop, most likely you cannot overclock it. Okay, the BIOS doesn't have the options. A lot of older CPUs cannot be overclocked. They're not Black Editions. They're locked. Okay, so you cannot do it. Another thing is, if you can do it, you need to add more cooling. Okay, you can't just overclock it with what you've got. Most likely you will need to add a separate cooler to it, and some more fans. Keep it fresh and air conditioned in there, basically. The other thing is, just because you saw someone else with the exact same system overclocked, it doesn't mean you can do it too. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, every system is different regardless. And if you do it, be very careful, because if you don't do it properly, you can damage your CPU and void your warranty. Okay, so even though it's fun and you might get a lot out of overclocking, it still has its risks. Okay, so keep all that in mind, and keep the questions coming. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.